Hello and welcome to the developer team update from the Tau team. And it's March, so let's get into it. Over to you, Karim.
Thank you, Fola, and welcome everyone to the March update for the Tau development team. Our lead developer, David, worked on the Tau language, the core of the language. Basically, he worked on implementing partial evaluations of functions and recurrence relations. He refactored some callbacks to speed up computations and fixed a bug related to traversals. He also refactored builders to avoid some issues during normalization. He also improved conversion to disjunctive normal form and made some additional fixes to Tau syntax. On the execution side, which is the most important thing that we're all looking forward to, he added support in the grammar for ordered normal forms. He added builders also for ordered normal forms, and he finished the implementation of all the other normal forms, such as the conjunctive, disjunctive, the negation normal form, and the min-term normal form. And I did not mention ordered normal form as well. On the REPL side, he added support for Tau Boolean algebras in the repo and added commands supporting several normal forms that we mentioned just now. And also he added commands to support substitution and instantiation. And he made improvements to the logging and the output of the REPLs. And as usual, he did his best to keep all the documentation up to date in the README files. Andrei in March focused on the Aptos blockchain, but also on the Uniswap exchange, mainly focusing on the requirements for what it will take TauNet to interface to Uniswap once we're no longer an ERC20 token. He also dedicated some effort, him and I actually dedicated some effort towards continuously refining the architecture of the test net, and he also worked on the security and scalability of our services. Umar continued his work on the core parser. This month worked on disambiguation, and also at the request of Tomáš, he added the ability to specify a list of symbols to skip or disable during disambiguation. And last but not least, Tomáš worked on the Tau language, where he started addressing some build time issues on the GitHub workflows. Then he made some changes to the Tau grammar, actually big changes, where he changed the negation from a prefixed tilde to a postfixed apostrophe. He also removed the question mark from Boolean function variables. And additionally, he removed all unnecessary parentheses from the grammar, making the grammar more readable, but also allowing for single letter variables, names, and making disjunction as the default operator. He continued working on REPL, where he factored everything into one generic class and added support for terminal colors, and created an initial REPL with basic commands, settings, and input and output history, and initially with a normalized command. On the parser side, as I mentioned earlier, he collaborated with Umar on auto disambiguation features to resolve ambiguities during the parsing, and allowing for priorities based on the order of appearance of the rules in the grammar definition. He created a new generic API for traversing the parse trees, which is much simpler than the older one. And then he added REPL features into the Tau grammar tools. And finally, on the TGF itself, he added directives to change the grammar within the tool itself to make it easier to play with the Tau grammar features. That's it for the March update. Fola, back to you.
Brilliant stuff. All right, fantastic. I'll pass it over to David for his update this month. Cheers.
Thank you, Fola. Hi, everyone. As Karim commented, this month I've been working on the following. Regarding the Tau language, I've been working on the implementation of partial evaluation of functions and recurrence relations. I have been also refactoring some callbacks and moving them from the callback setting into the execution API so that we could speed up computation and fix also several issues related to traversals and callbacks, the interaction between them. I have been also refactoring the builders to simplify its use, and also I have also built in some of them from simpler ones in order to avoid issues during normalization. I have improved make some fixes into the processing of equality and non-equality in the case of WFF formulas. And I have also made improvement and fixes in the conversion of DNF and its simplification. Furthermore, I have made some changes into the binding API in order to simplify its use, and also the process of pin variables or constants into the program. And I have made several minor fixes and improvements, for example, related to the syntax in the examples that we have, or removing unused code. Regarding the REPL, I have been working in adding support for the tau Boolean algebra, and also I have added several comments for supporting several normal forms, for example, order normal forms, conjunctive normal form, negative normal form, and so on. And I have been also adding several commands in order to support substitution of one formula by another one, and also instantiation in order to change one variable with some expression. I have also made several improvements into the logging and the output of the REPL, and I'm just wrapping up the code, and I will test everything. And when you watch this video, it will be available. I have also made several improvements in the documentation, and finally, as Karim commented, regarding the execution, which is the most, let's say, relevant part right now, I have been adding the support in the grammar for ordered normal forms. Also, I have added builders to support the creation of the programmatically create expressions like related to order normal forms. And also I have been implementing the underlying algorithms to transform a formula into order normal form. I have also made the algorithms to the other normal forms that I commented previously. And also I have been interacting with members from the community in the Telegram channel and just enjoying the chat. So thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Amazing. Thank you so much, David. Now I'll pass it over to Tomáš for his update this month.
Thank you, Fola. Hello, everyone. Last month I've worked on both Tau language and the parser library. I've shortened build time of Tau by compiling only necessary parts of the parser library. Then I added a boost dependency into GitHub workflows. Then I focused on command line interface. I've improved our code for terminal colors so we can simply enable and disable them even during runtime. Then I've implemented REPL features. REPL means read, eval, print loop. It provides an interactive interface where a user enters a command, REPL does some action, it prints the result and waits for a new input. This implementation features prompt with a status info and history of previous inputs. After you run tau REPL, it expects formulas or commands, and after evaluation, it prints the output. I've worked on memory for all printed outputs. Each output can be later referenced by its index absolutely from the beginning or relatively from the last output. I've added several commands, quit, version, and help command, commands to print or change settings. It's like get, set, toggle. Then there are some commands to manage outputs memory. And I started to work on normalize command, accepting a formula or a previous output reference. Regarding Tau language itself, I've worked on syntax changes to better reflect the usual mathematical and logical notation. I've changed negation from tilde prefix to apostrophe postfix. I've removed the question mark prefix from Boolean function variables. I'm currently working on removing parentheses from places where it isn't necessary, and I'm working on changing syntax of variable names and on adding a possibility to have conjunction as a default operation when there is no operator between two operands. Regarding parser, I worked on reviewing and testing of Umar's new disambiguation feature. Auto disambiguation makes it easier to work with parser. With this feature enabled, when parser reaches an ambiguous result, it chooses a parse tree according to order of parsing rules. It means the first rule in the grammar serves. Having a powerful parser able to get all possible parse trees is a good thing, but there are only few cases where it is needed. For this, Umar also introduced a list of rules which are kept ambiguous when auto disambiguation is enabled. I've also moved some code from Tau language repository to the parser library since they are generic and can be used by any language. This is, for example, the REPL implementation and also rewriter for manipulation of parse trees. I've also created a generic traverser class which helps to access parse trees and their content. And then I've enhanced the TGF tool to work as a REPL as well. It loads a grammar file and allows to test the grammar from a command line without the need to restart or reload. So that's all from me this month. Thank you.
All right, Tomáš, thank you so much for your update. I'll pass it over to Andrei now. Cheers.
Hello, our beloved community. This month I've continued the journey towards developing the Tau testnet. That is our main goal and main aim for now. Of course, I continued exploring the Aptos blockchain because Aptos blockchain is a potential foundation for the Tau testnet, and I was assessing its capability and advantages for our needs. Concurrently, as Karim mentioned, I was researching Uniswap architecture and Uniswap application. Uniswap application, as you know, is built on top of Ethereum network, and I wanted to understand the specific requirements to support similar application on Tau network. And of course, a lot of our work, our efforts was aimed at refining the architecture of the testnet. And we were focusing on its critical components. We were crystallizing them to identify Tau language functionalities we need for the seamless operation. And of course, we have increased attention, increased popularity, increased users on our platforms, on our services. So I had to improve even further the security of our services and increased capacity of our servers. And actually, each step we take, it brings us closer to realizing the full potential that actually Tau testnet brings with it. With each hour discussion, with Ohad, with David, with Karim, with everyone, we all discover the enormous potential that hides behind the simple words of Tau testnet. And I really look forward to continue this mission, this journey to this Tau testnet with you. So see you next month, and thank you all. Bye.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Andrei. Last but not least, as always, over to you, Ohad.
Yeah, so I continued with the usual stuff, the blockchain design, the two variable fragment. It's very hard to find a reasonable algorithm for this. When I say reasonable algorithm, yes, I always mean that an algorithm that works fast on easy cases. Yeah, we have something of this form, but there is a lot to tweak in it. Also updating the Taba book, semi book. Yeah, so soon there will be a new version of Taba, but the first chapter, which is the preliminary, is not about to change. Yeah, so feel free to take control over the first chapter and understand it very well with all background knowledge. It will give you a very firm foundation of everything we are dealing with. Yeah, and that's all that comes to mind.
Sorry. All right. Thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in. And we will see you on our socials as always. Cheers.